So, I'm Lynn Ruth Miller. They've given me 10 minutes up here because they think that's all the time I've got left. Let's hear it for aging. Yay, aging, yeah. It's so much better than the alternative. Think about that, yeah. I've decided though, I've come to the age now where I'm sort of thinking about what I want to be in the next life. So I've decided I want to be a prostitute. I want to know what it's like to get paid for being used, right? Yeah. And everybody wants to pull the plug on Granny. I like my plug. He's French. Of course, I've had a lot of body replacements. I was a centerfold at Popular Mechanics. And when I go through airport security, it sounds like I just hit the jackpot at Vegas. But I know I'm wrinkled. I know I'm wrinkled. I used to tell people these were laugh lines. But then I realized nothing could be that funny. My dog to the vet, my bulldog to the vet, and he looked at the two of us and he said, which one gets the shot? No, I've got to admit it, my cleavage is so cross-hatched, I could play tic-tac-toe on it. If I could remember where I put the pencil. And putting on a bra these days is like a Kenny Rogers song. You know, you have to know how to hold them, you have to know how to fold them. I just roll mine up and use a clamp. But when I was in Scotland, I got a sheepdog bra. You know, it rounds them up, points them in the right direction. While I was in Scotland, I thought they wore their bagpipes under their kilts. Think about that. Guy said, no, that isn't a bagpipe. I was thrilled. I offered him a green card, but he said no, he didn't want it. I said, well, it's a good deal. You get a house, 5 dogs, and the American dream. He said, no, thank you. I'm not into waterboarding, and I don't want to pay for a doctor. I said, well, listen, what does Scotland have that we don't have? And he said, men in skirts can marry anyone they want. But there are a lot of, thank you, there are a lot of joys to aging. There are a lot of joys. For example, I wake up in the morning. That's one. Sometimes I even get out of bed. Yeah, and I'm off the pill. I don't have PMS anymore either. When I tell you I'm going to kill you, I mean it. And the good thing about being my age is you can get a lifetime guarantee on anything. I bought a quart of milk and it had a due date of a couple days later, and I said to the clerk, you know, I said, I better return it because it's liable to go sour. She said, honey, you'll go sour before it does. And you don't have to worry about fat or thin. That doesn't bother you anymore. I went to Baskin-Robbins and I ordered a hot fudge sundae with extra fudge, extra whipped cream, and extra nuts. She said, you forgot the cherry. I said, oh, I lost that years ago. Now I'm into nuts. She said, you eat that and it's going to go right to your hips. I said, they're brand new. They can take it. But you know, Americans have the funniest relationship with food. Have you noticed this? We want to eat as much as we can and still stay thin. And the medical profession has stepped up to the plate and they invented a stomach band. Have you heard about this? They insert it laparoscopically and they tie it really tight, and then you can't eat anymore, you're not hungry. But there are side effects, you know, bloat, gastritis, colitis, stroke, heart attack. You know, wouldn't it be easier to put the band around the refrigerator? But I'm really happy I'm aging. I am. I'm so happy I'm aging because a lot of my friends didn't. And that's why I read the obituaries for romantic leads. If the survivor is male and can drive, I'm at the viewing, yeah. With my credit report, my phone number, and a casserole. I don't care how much they're grieving, they're always hungry. You notice that about men? Yeah. I love funerals, I do. The incense, the flowers, the hot prospects. Yeah, you can even get used clothing and household items if you're smart about it. Yeah, right. I found a really interesting man at Woodlawn Cemetery last week. He was really dapper, had all his teeth, didn't leak. He was 80 years old. He drove over to my house in a 1933 Ford. Listen, I want to tell you something. Anything that old is going to have something broken, something missing, and something leaking, right? And the car was a mess, too. So I went on MySpace and I said, I really want somebody intelligent with dreamy eyes and a beard. And I got a hit from Liza Minnelli. So I Googled my high school boyfriend, and I found him. Yeah, and we made a date for 7:30 for dinner, and I decided this time I'd wear clothes. He knew me when I was watertight. And didn't need ironing. And he was very prompt. He came over at 7:30 in the morning. I said, no, we had a date for dinner. He said, I know, but I can't see to drive at night. That's the senior dating pool. So there we were at Denny's, and he was whispering sweet nothings in my good ear. I was wiping the applesauce off his bib, and we were having a spirited discussion about glucosamine when he said, whoops, there goes my hearing aid, you'll have to sign. And I said, listen, Buster, if this is on me, you're not. So you have to set limits. I don't care how long you've known him. You know, I like to keep up to date. I love to go to raves. I just turn my hearing aid off and I put my pacemaker on vibrate, and I'm there. And I was reading that gorillas tempt their mates with meat. You know, it's a new world. Mine always use jewelry. And speaking of jewelry, when my date gave me a pearl necklace, I could wear it for 30 years. Now I have to wash it off. And more and more people are sleeping with their animals. But thank God, I don't have to do the punchline for you, but thank God I divorced mine. You know? But I love my poodle. I really do. I love my poodle. I dressed him last Halloween. I dressed him in a top hat and a tuxedo, and I hauled out the yellow wedding dress, and I took him to a party. It wouldn't be the first dog I married, I'll tell you that, yeah. And I use my dog to screen my dates. If he doesn't jump for your crotch, I don't. Well, I got a Victoria's Secret catalog the other day. Oh my God, I'd like to meet Victoria. I want to know what else she doesn't keep secret, right? Yeah. Looked at the underwear and I said, oh my, I said, this underwear was meant to be seen. Wasn't that way when I was a girl. When I was a girl, I had to wear 6 layers of clothes under my clothes before my mother would let me go out on dates. Did you have that problem? No, you didn't, huh? Yeah. She thought that would protect me from beer, pretzels, and testosterone. It didn't. When I was young, I was so hot that when my dates came to pick me up, they didn't ring the doorbell, it did. Right. Thank you. That is a memory. We used to go to drive-in theaters. Does anybody know about drive-in theaters? Yeah. That was where, if you were lucky, you didn't have to watch the movie. Yeah, you lost everything in that back seat. You know, your wallet, your keys, your virginity. Yeah, you lost everything. I'm going to end this by just telling you one little thing. I just got the light, so I'm going to tell you one thing that you have to look forward to. Have you noticed that the hairier a dog is, the cuter it is. Have you noticed that? Yeah. Doesn't work that way with women, does it? I do a lot more plucking than fucking these days.